Throughout the 2016 election, candidates Donald Trump and Bernie Sanders have clearly divided opposing views, but one topic on which they share the opposition is that of free trade agreements. Many people have demonized free trade agreements like NAFTA and the TPP in the last year. So what exactly are the free trade agreements and what's so bad about them? Well, first, it is important to realize that the world economy and by extension standard of living are dependent on international trade. In practice, countries which produce more usually do better economically, and many countries enact trade rules which favor their own production. For example, in 1920s, European farms were able to sell agricultural goods to the United States very cheaply. This undercut American farmers, and so Congress passed the Smoot-Hawley tariff, which raised taxes on imports. This artificially made foreign goods very expensive compared to domestic goods, now favoring the American farm. Laws and rules like these are called protectionist. Free trade agreements are, at their most basic, a series of compromises between countries. They remove protectionist restrictions and taxes, but also work to keep the economies from falling apart without them. Most countries are members of the World Trade Organization, which regulates international free trade agreements and maintains the global economy. But one of the problems with the free trade agreements is that they can also hurt consumers. For example, in 2011, tobacco giant Philip Morris sued the country of Australia for implementing anti-smoking regulation. The company argued that the regulation would violate a portion of 1993 trade agreement between Hong Kong and Australia because plain packaging would diminish their trademark. And even though the lawsuit failed to stop restrictions, it is an example of free trade agreement overreach. A much more common complaint, especially in the United States, is that free trade agreements lead to outsourcing and a loss of American jobs. When the North American Free Trade Agreement, NAFTA, was established between the US and Canada and Mexico in 1994, it eliminated most taxes on import and export between those countries. This made it cheaper to import food and goods from Mexico than it was to grow or make them in the United States. This led to considerably cheaper goods and a net benefit for consumers. However, the trade agreement also led to outsourcing those same farming and manufacturing jobs to Mexico. It's been estimated that 1 million jobs have been lost to NAFTA over the past 2 decades. In short, a free trade agreements make it easier for foreign countries to compete with local production, making everything less expensive according to free market principles. But for those workers who actually have to compete with cheaper foreign labor or resources, they're often forced to find new work. There are also a huge number of other considerations besides actual trade that go into free trade agreements, like environmental and copyright concerns. In the end, Free trade agreements can make goods cheaper and more available. However, this benefit can come at the expense of thousands, if not millions, of jobs. The TPP is one such free trade agreement that has received major criticism. But what exactly is that free trade agreement about? Check out our video here to learn more. Economists like Robert Reich call this global race to the bottom. This is the economic terms for one government for reducing regulation and taxes in order to attracting investing companies. The practice has been added the fact that of lessening labor laws, lowering wages, and raising the outsourcing. Thanks for watching, everyone. Make sure to like and subscribe for more test tube news from us every day.